Patriots fans, what a wild story we've got today. This one really caught everyone off guard, and honestly, it says a lot about what's going on inside the Patriots locker room right now. So let's dive straight into it, because the whole situation with Christian Barmore has people talking, and not without reason. After Sunday's game, when the dust settled and everyone started analyzing what went down, something strange popped out. Christian Barmore, one of the anchors of this defensive line, didn't step on the field in the first quarter, not even for a single snap. And that had fans and analysts scratching their heads because there was no injury report, no questionable tag, nothing. He was supposed to be fully ready to go. Now, while Barmore was on the sidelines, we saw Q's Tonga getting those early reps. And credit where it's due, Tonga has been one of the pleasant surprises of this season. He came in as what many thought would just be a depth signing, a rotation guy to eat up a few snaps. But man, has he delivered. He's been powerful, explosive off the line, and consistent. Nobody expected this kind of breakout from him. But even with Tonga doing his job, it was hard not to notice that the Patriots front just wasn't the same without Barmore in those early drives. You could feel it. The opposing offense had more time, more rhythm, and it didn't take long for people to start asking, where's Barmore? When the second quarter rolled around, though, Barmore finally hit the field. And from that moment, he made an impact. He played like a man on a mission. He might not have racked up a bunch of tackles on the stat sheet, but his presence was felt on almost every snap. He created pressure, forced the quarterback off his spot, and helped shut down the middle. He looked sharp, aggressive, and motivated, which only made the situation even stranger. If he was that good once he got in, why in the world didn't he start? Well, after the game, the answer started to come out, and it raised more questions than it solved. Mike Vrabel, who has been pretty straightforward since taking over, said after the game that Barmore's first quarter absence was due to discipline reasons. He didn't go into detail, but he made it clear it was a decision meant to protect the team. Those were his exact words. And that phrase, protect the team, got everyone thinking. What exactly happened that was serious enough for Vrabel to feel he needed to protect the team from it? Maybe it was something as small as being late to a meeting or breaking a team rule. That stuff happens all the time in football. But the way Vrabel phrased it made it sound heavier than that. He said his job was to make decisions that keep the standards of what it means to be a Patriot. And if something doesn't align with that, he has to act. That kind of comment isn't made lightly. It's the sort of thing that points to something deeper, something about culture, attitude, or accountability. Now, to be fair, Vrabel handled it like a professional. He didn't throw Barmore under the bus. He didn't make it personal. But it's clear that he wanted to send a message to Barmore, to the team, maybe even to the fan base, that no one is above the rules. Not even one of a defense's top talents. And if that was his goal, message received. Because everybody is talking about it. After the game, reporters tried to get Barmore's side of the story. They went into the locker room, asked him about the benching, tried to understand what went down. But Barmore didn't want to talk. He declined to speak to the media, left Gillette Stadium without saying a word, and that silence said almost as much as any quote could have. When a player chooses not to address something like that, it usually means he's frustrated, either with himself, with the situation, or maybe both. What's frustrating about this whole thing is that Barmore has been through a lot. He missed most of last season dealing with a serious blood clot issue, fought his way back to health, and when he returned, he played with fire. He's been a key piece in the resurgence of this defense. Against Cleveland, he recorded 6 pressures in just 30 snaps. Those are elite numbers. He even made one of the biggest plays of the game late in the fourth quarter, forcing an intentional grounding call that changed momentum. So you can understand why fans are puzzled. Why would someone that important risk putting himself in a position to be disciplined? The Patriots' defense as a whole has been strong lately. They held Quinton Judkins to less than 2.5 yards per carry. That's no small feat the front line, when anchored by guys like Barmore, Milton Williams, and Tonga, can be downright scary. So hearing that one of your best defenders had to be benched for discipline reasons is something you never want to hear, especially when the team is finally building chemistry. And yet, there's something almost classic about this kind of Patriots moment. A coach making a tough call to reinforce the team-first mentality. We've seen it before with past New England teams under Belichick. players benched for small mistakes, star names held accountable for slipping up. Vrabel is clearly keeping that same culture alive. It's not about who you are or how good you are. It's about the standard. And that's something that defines the Patriots way. Still, fans have every right to wonder if this is just a one-time situation or the start of something bigger. Because Barmore leaving without talking to reporters, that's the part that lingers. It makes you wonder if there's tension behind the scenes, something we don't fully know yet. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a player needing time to cool off after being benched. But if it's something deeper, that could become a distraction the team really doesn't need right now. During the first quarter, you could see the defense missing his spark. The opposing offense drove down the field easily. The Patriots couldn't generate pressure, and the energy wasn't there. Once Barmore entered, that changed instantly. So there's no question about his importance. But Vrabel chose principle over production. And in the long run, that might actually strengthen the locker room. After the game, Vrabel was seen hugging every player, as he usually does. He even hugged Barmore, which tells you that maybe the air has been clear between them. That's a good sign. But then again, the fact that Barmore refused to speak publicly still leaves a bit of a cloud. Maybe it's fine, maybe not. But you can bet this won't be the last we hear about it. At the end of the day, this team is on a roll. 5 straight wins, sitting at 6-2, and playing with more confidence every week. The chemistry is building, the young guys are stepping up, and you can feel something growing inside this locker room. The last thing they need is internal drama to mess with that momentum. So for the sake of everyone involved, hopefully this whole situation with Barmore is just a brief blip, a learning moment that passes quickly. Because when he's locked in, this defense becomes a different beast. But here's the thing that sticks out to me. Vrabel's exact phrase, "I had to protect the team." That's what keeps echoing. What does that mean exactly? Was there something behind the scenes? Was it something that affected more than just him? You can tell there's more to the story, and eventually, the truth will probably come out. But for now, all we can do is read between the lines and hope that whatever happened gets resolved internally. Because as talented as Barmore is, his presence and his mindset are essential for what the Patriots are trying to build this season. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about another storyline that came out of this game, one that's a lot more encouraging for Patriots fans. Henderson finally showed exactly why people were so excited about him when the team picked him up. There's been a lot of talk about the Patriots running game lately, about whether it could be more explosive, more dynamic, and less predictable. And this week, Henderson came out and reminded everyone what it looks like when this offense actually has a spark out of the backfield. You could feel the difference from the moment he stepped on the field. Henderson ran with patience and confidence, waiting for holes to open, reading the blocks, and exploding through the gaps like a veteran. He finished the day with 75 yards on 10 carries. That's 7.5 yards per carry. Numbers like that don't lie. He was the most effective back on the field, hands down. He would have had a touchdown too, but unfortunately, he coughed up the ball at the goal line, which is something that can't happen. That fumble took a bit of shine off his performance, but you can't ignore how much life he brought to the offense. What the Patriots have been missing this season is consistency in the run game. Ramondre Stevenson, who's usually that workhorse back, just hasn't been himself lately. He managed only about 34 yards on 14 carries this time, and it just looked like he couldn't get anything going. The lanes weren't there, his vision was off, and the energy wasn't matching what we've seen in the past. Henderson, though, looked like the complete opposite. Hungry, decisive, and fresh. You could see how he changed the tempo of the offense whenever he touched the ball. Now the problem, and it's a big one, is ball security. The Patriots have had a serious issue with fumbles this year. Stevenson has already lost the ball multiple times. Antonio Gibson fumbled twice before getting hurt, and now Henderson joins that list. It's something that's become a real concern for this coaching staff, because as explosive as the offense has looked at times, turnovers have killed momentum again and again. And that's what Vrabel was talking about when he said the team has to protect itself. Maybe not about Barmore specifically, but it fits the same mentality. This team cannot afford self-inflicted wounds. The good news, though, is that Henderson's fumble didn't come from carelessness. It looked more like a young player trying to make a play, fighting for extra yards, and losing control in the process. That's the kind of thing you can fix with coaching and experience. What matters more is that he showed he can be a legitimate playmaker. When you've got a running back who can break tackles, find space, and turn small gains into big plays, that changes everything for your quarterback. It keeps the defense honest, opens up play action, and allows Maye to play with more freedom. Speaking of Maye, what a response from the rookie after throwing that ugly interception early on. You could tell he wasn't rattled. He came right back and threw 3 straight touchdown passes, showing the kind of mental toughness you want from your young quarterback. That's leadership right there, shaking off mistakes, staying composed, and trusting your reads. It's not easy to do that, especially in a league that punishes hesitation. But Maye showed poise, and that's something this fan base should be really excited about. The Patriots' offense is slowly starting to take shape, and it's happening because players are stepping up when given opportunities. Last week, the coaches said Henderson's limited snaps were purely situational. Well, this week, he proved he deserves more than situational work. He earned real reps, and you can bet that heading into next week's matchup against Atlanta, he's going to see more touches. You don't put a guy who averages over 7 yards per carry back on the bench. Not when your running game has been inconsistent all season. Another thing that stood out was how balanced the offense looked once the run game started clicking. The offensive line, which had been shaky early on, began creating real movement at the line of scrimmage. You could see Henderson reading those blocks perfectly, waiting for the crease, and then bursting through it. That patience is something you usually see in veteran running backs, not rookies. It's the kind of thing that gives coaches confidence. If he can pair that vision with better ball security, he could become a serious weapon for this offense down the stretch. And honestly, you can feel the momentum building for this team. 5 straight wins, 6-2 on the season, and the energy around this group is completely different from what it was at the start of the year. You can tell the players believe in what Vrabel is building. There's a toughness to them now, a sense of unity that wasn't there before. You see in how they celebrate, how they pick each other up, and how they respond to adversity. That's something you can't fake. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing as rumors swirl that the league is set to review several controversial plays from last night's thrilling Patriots victory. Sources close to the situation suggest that referees' calls, some of which have already sparked heated debates on social media, might not stand unchallenged, potentially reshaping the outcome of the game. While the Patriots celebrated a hard-fought win on the field, fans and pundits alike are questioning whether every call was truly fair, and speculation is mounting that the league office is taking an unusually close look at the footage. Insiders hint that the plays in question could involve both offensive and defensive maneuvers, including a late fourth-quarter sequence that left commentators stunned. Some are even whispering that the decision to review might go beyond standard protocol, signaling an unprecedented intervention by league officials. Patriot supporters are torn between excitement over the victory and anxiety over the looming scrutiny, while rival fan bases are relishing the uncertainty, already flooding forums and sports channels with wild theories about reversals or potential penalties. Adding fuel to the fire, a few former referees have allegedly reached out to media outlets, offering their take on what might happen. Their analyses range from the calls are likely to stand to this could be a game-changing review. But the consistent message is clear. The league is treating this matter with unusual seriousness. Meanwhile, players themselves have remained tight-lipped, though insiders report that locker room conversations are heated, with Patriots veterans debating the implications for the team's momentum and playoff positioning. As whispers grow louder, sports bettors are reportedly on high alert, adjusting odds and strategies as the review looms. Analysts are warning that any league intervention, even if minor, could ripple through the standings and affect postseason predictions. One thing is certain. The Patriots' victory, once celebrated with sheer jubilation, now comes with an asterisk of suspense. Fans will be watching closely in the coming days, eager to see whether the league's review confirms the win overturns controversial calls, or introduces a new chapter in NFL drama. The rumor mill is alive, and Patriots Nation may find itself holding its breath like never before. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.